Why do you believe so many companies still persist with the DevOps team anti-pattern? I've seen this.
I died on that hill a lot. So I worked for John Alspaw, who is half of Adaptive Capacity Labs, and is like, and was on the chair of Velocity conference for the whole time Velocity existed, and was responsible for a lot of those, for getting a lot of those people from like Amazon and other big companies in the medical industry and stuff in there to talk about resiliency. So like DevOps is just like not a word that like we would say. It's just like not part of the vocabulary because it's a buzzword. I mean, it's ultimately a buzzword. So and that's so. I mean, that's what I mean by like I died on that hill a lot. I mean, like I spent a long time being like, don't call it a DevOps team. I called it like I don't want a DevOps title. Blah blah blah. And I think at this point I would say like it's just if a team's called the DevOps team, it's just sort of like. That's how the internet decided the word's supposed to be used. It wound up being like massively over. I mean, seriously, you wound up being this massively overloaded word. Things. I mean, like hacker is another one where it's just like hacker has you just restricted the computer, so it's like 5 different things it can mean, and then so it's not something. It used to be something I considered a red flag, and now it's something that I just don't even see anymore. Where it's like I don't know. It could mean, and also it could mean at this point it can mean anything. So I think I mean I do think it's not like the greatest thing to name a team that, because it just sort of telegraphs that like maybe somebody didn't get the message that like DevOps is an activity and not like a role.
Right.
That said, though, I mean, again, like DevOps is this like wildly overloaded word, and so in a lot of companies now, like DevOps means like the people that do ops for the cloud.
Absolutely.
Wound up being all that because it. So I mean, and this is a thing I think to respect too, and to ask, and a good question or a good prompt to ask about when you're interviewing people about why their company's the way it is. A lot of times it's the DevOps team because they're like there's already an ops team and somebody wanted to differentiate, and like that person hadn't gone deep into what it means, and it doesn't really matter because they just needed something to call cloud ops, and they didn't. For the reason they didn't call them cloud ops. And so there's just like a lot of noise like that in titles overall in tech, and then I think like the meat of the underlying question is like why do people put all of the people responsible for doing it the new way on one team and one org? And it's like that is that comes back to silos, and I think siloed organizations are something that there's a little bit subtle about DevOps and continuous delivery, and maybe it doesn't get covered enough. Maybe we should talk about it more. But if the whole point of DevOps, the whole point of continuous delivery is to remove barriers to communication. Right? I mean, like another way to like another definition of DevOps that I used to use a lot is I just say it just means finding common ground. It means the pursuit of common ground between all stakeholders.
That's nice. I've not heard that before.
That's that again. That's stolen from something else Paul posted years ago. But I mean, it's accurate. I mean, in a lot of ways, the problem that DevOps is supposed to solve is this. What we refer to as the tragedy of the commons, which is actually, it's funny because it's actually like broken. Tragedy of the commons turns out to be things like broken windows, where it's like,
right.
Software started using the metaphor because they thought it was a real thing, but tragedy of the commons isn't a real thing that happens, but it does actually happen with software. So anyway. It's the phenomenon where like there's a piece of the system that like is important and so important that everyone relies on it, and therefore it winds up not belonging to anybody.
Yeah.
Up one day and realize like, hey, no one actually owns Chef anymore. How long has it been? Geez, it's been a while. Like, what's going to happen? So that's the whole reason for removing barriers to communication, so that it's harder for that to happen. It's harder. So there's so that it's harder for parts of the system to become abandonware. Is once, as everybody knows, I mean, once it's hands off on a part of the system, then good luck testing it.
Indeed, yeah.
For reasons far too numerous to even go into. So that's the whole point. This is so to come back to like why do we wind up with a siloed like change the company team, which is the real, that's what I see the DevOps team anti-pattern being. Is like you're going to do all the new stuff and then everybody else will just keep doing the old stuff until the new stuff's ready, and then you'll help them cut over. And I think the reason that happens is that organizations they're trying to solve the problem with being siloed, which means that generally the organization's really heavily siloed, and it's a bureaucracy, which means that not by definition not everybody in the organization's ever aligned. And so it's not unthinkable to go from we want to effect a change over the whole organization to we're going to create a new silo that's charged with organizational change. And they're two completely different things. So, but it's like, it's that game of telephone that all corporations play because they're bureaucracies where, what gets decided by one group of senior managers, like can often be completely unintentionally, more by another group of senior managers. And you wind up, it's like, hey, I said I wanted to, and it's literally like, oh, geez, I thought you said you wanted a silo full of change agents. Like, that's not what you want. No, but literally, this is what can happen.
Yeah,
and that's why get up and talk to people is such an important principle.